Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. So today I'm going to share with you a review of the Amazon Kindle Paperwhite 12th generation, which is the only Kindle available on Amazon India at the moment. So let us begin. Now this is a very short-term review simply because I got this Kindle during the last Prime sale, and I hope that this will help you make a better decision when there are major sales coming up this month. Now, this was priced at 22,000 and still at 22,000. So during sales, I got it for about 12,500 after using the SBI credit card offers as well. So I recommend that you wait for the amount to decrease to about that or lower than that if possible. Now, going ahead to its features. Just a reminder here that this is not a tips and tricks video. So if you're interested in that, you can let me know in the comments and I will try to do that as well. So let's begin with how it came packaged. So there was nothing else other than this basic box, which was in another box, okay? And inside the box, you just have the Kindle, the manuals, and other than that, you get the USB-C cable. Frankly, I have not used it, okay? Simply because there was no adapter to this, and since it's a USB-C cable, I could just, use my regular phone charger instead of having many cables on the table as such. But then that is up to you if you want to use the same. Now let's go ahead to other features like the design and the build. So this is a 7-inch model and it has a matte finish, which as you can see is horrible because it gets dirty very quickly, okay, and catches fingerprints easily as well. So I don't really like that, but at the same time I don't really have to look at it because it's at the back, okay. And on the front, frankly, it's been going well so far. I have not used a screen guard, so you can see what it looks like. Now, for people who are complete beginners, okay, just to give you an idea of the size, okay, in case you're not sure. So this is the cover of my OnePlus 11. So you can see how big this Kindle is. It's just slightly taller and obviously definitely wider. Okay, and if this is not clear for those who are stationery lovers, this is an A6 notebook with a cover on it. Okay, since the cover is there, I would say again slightly taller, but almost the same size, again slightly wider as well. Okay, so almost the size of an A6 notebook. Why I'm bringing this up is just for you to know that it is not going to fit in your pocket. Okay, unless you have extremely huge pockets, I don't see the possibility of that happening. This is coming from someone who carries it to work almost on a regular basis. This is not going to fit in your pocket. Okay, now I will speak about accessories towards the end if you're interested, but let us go to its other design and build features. Now, since this is so small, I feel it is quite lightweight, even though I know that many people prefer the basic version over this, and this is the only color option available. Okay, that is just black, so it is not that you can choose from different color options. And other than that, what you have to keep in mind also is that this has been given an IPX8 rating, which basically means that if water splashes, even soapy water for that matter, your Kindle is still likely to be fine. I wouldn't call it waterproof, but yes, if you want to call it that, that's up to you. Now, frankly, I don't think it's very relevant for us because, as a regular Indian, or most Indians, I would say, see, we are not really filthy rich enough to have a bathtub and go and read a Kindle in the bathtub. But of course, if you have that, you don't have to be worried. You can still do that. And then going further to other performance and features. Now, they make a lot of claims. So let's start with the first one. The first claim is simply that the battery will last for 12 weeks, which is about 2 months. I feel that this claim is sort of valid because, of course, it depends on your usage. Now, I am not a heavy reader. I read very little in a day, so I would say about maybe 30 minutes is the lowest I would read, and the highest is probably 1 hour, considering a working day. Obviously, if I'm at home, I would read a lot more. But since it's a work on most working days, I would just read about 30 minutes to 1 hour. And let me show you the battery percentage. Okay, So yes, see the battery percentage is 77. Now this is based on the fact that I charged this Kindle to full 100% on August 1st. I did it on purpose on August 1st so because I wanted to check how long it would last, and right now in September it is still 77, which I think is pretty good considering that I read about with 30 minutes to 1 hour almost on a regular basis. But again, if you are an avid reader, this is not going to last so long, probably. But at the same time, I feel it would last long enough where you wouldn't be annoyed, that you have to charge it often. So I think the battery is pretty good in those terms. Coming to the storage. Now, they have offered 16 GB, but keep in mind that devices always take up a certain part of the storage for its hardware and other things. Sorry. Um, and what I can tell here is that we will get 11.50, which is great. Okay, see, books don't really take a lot of space. So 11.50 is a lot. Frankly, I don't need anything because I'm a weird person who deletes the books after I read them. If I really want a book and want to read it later, I would just buy the hard copy. So, in case you're interested in storage, even 11.50 is great. Maybe you would need more storage if you have a lot of, if you have numerous books which are study or research related, and there are they are quite huge. Even then, frankly, I don't know whether you would need it, but then yeah, you can decide based on that. Then further, what do we know about this is that I feel this is very much portable and lightweight, and also you can easily use it with one hand because I have tried it. I have even read on the bed with one hand. It is quite easy to use all its features. Maybe if you have smaller hands may be difficult, okay, and you want to go for a different version like the basic, but since it is not available, probably you will have to deal with this. Now the resolution is 300 ppi, which let me show you closer. I don't know why it's blurring when I'm showing from far, but frankly, the screen is great. Okay, uh, I love it. I've heard people tell that the basic has better, crisper quality in terms of what you get to see. But I'm enjoying this, okay, because I have not used the basic and I completely enjoy this. Now, obviously, there are a lot of other features. Okay, for example, you have now dark mode available in case you want to read and use that at night. You can adjust your brightness and the warmth, set timers for it. There are a lot of features. Again, like I said, this is not a tips and tricks video, so I'm not going into that. But what I would suggest you do is keep your brightness to zero if you want the battery to last longer, which is something that I do. And frankly, if you see, this is at zero and it is still great. Okay, as long as your room has decent amount of natural light or any sort of light, okay, it works. The only time I have to increase the brightness, frankly, is if I'm reading at night. Okay, that time I kind of increase the brightness because sometimes I don't use dark mode and I read at night. Then let's go ahead further. Now, as far as getting books into your Kindle, there are a number of ways you can do that. The first thing, let me tell you, is that when you buy a Kindle, you get a subscription for 1 month to Kindle Unlimited, which I also got. And let me show you what is there in my library currently. So right now I have only three books, as you can see, because I've already deleted the other ones. Okay, but what I have done is, if you can see over here, I have kept my Kindle on flight mode simply because my subscription time is over and I don't want them to remove the books. So I have kept it on flight mode so that it doesn't connect to the Wi-Fi. That is something that you could do. You could download your books and then continue reading it by keeping it on flight mode. Another option is for Prime subscribers or those who have Prime subscription. You can easily access Prime reading. I have the subscription, but I've not tried out that yet, so I cannot really give any opinion regarding that. Then other than that, of course, is side loading. Now, as far as side loading is concerned, you can use the cable, but the best thing to do is just use the send to Kindle option. You can either email it or use the website. Okay, I would suggest the website if you have larger files, for example more than 25 MB, because the website allows, I think, up to 200 MB. On email it is, I think, only 25 MB. Okay, And let's go ahead further now to accessories. Okay. As far as accessories are concerned, if you can see over here, I have not used a cover simply because I have not bought one. Now, let me clarify that. If you look online, you will notice that the official Amazon cover, or sorry, the official Kindle cover is worth 2000, and there are three color options available: gray, green, and pink. It's not worth 2000. Frankly, the cover does not even have a stand. It's I don't know why anyone would say it's worth 2000. I think even 1000 would be more, but at least that I could tolerate. But I don't see why 2000. Okay, now there are other cover options available for cheaper price, but the problem with them is that they're quite bulky. So what happened is that during the Prime sale, there was no reduction in the price. I thought it would reduce and I waited, okay, hoping it would come down. Frankly, I didn't see any change in the price. The only thing that was happening was it would go out of stock once in a while, like it is out of stock right now. And see, what I would say to you is that it is better to be safe than sorry. So get a cover for your peace of mind, okay? Whichever cover you want, or you can even go with a sleeve, like a laptop sleeve. You can get a small sleeve for the Kindle, or you can just stitch one or on your own so that you can put it in that and then take it out as required. But get some cover. Now, this is weird coming from me because the only thing I used while taking it to work is this thin. Okay, this is useless. Okay, I use this simply because I didn't have a screen guard and I didn't want scratches on it. And in my bag, this Kindle was along with my steel bottle, pens, a number of other things. Okay, it's lying around with a number of things, and there is not a single scratch on it. Okay, see over here you can see there is no scratch on the Kindle. Okay, obviously I wouldn't suggest you take a risk like that. So maybe some form of a cover would be good, but if you want to spend 2000 or not, that is completely up to you. But it would be your choice. Okay, if you are lucky, maybe the price would go down because I have not seen it going down. Now, coming to other things, screen guard, I was not even considering buying for the Kindle. Yes, it is a little weird to think like that because all my other devices have screen protectors on them. But on the Kindle, a lot of people told me that there's no need for a screen guard, and I thought I would take that risk this time around. So far, it's been going well. Okay, and maybe one reason is because it's not something that you put in your pocket, where it would get easily scratched. Then, what about a pop socket? Now, pop socket is largely, for people to read easily, either by holding it or keeping it somewhere. What I do is a sort of jugaad, I would say. At work, I just keep my bottle and angle it on that and read. At home, I have a book stand. Instead of a book, I place my Kindle on it and read. Other than that, I don't see the need for a pop socket, or, I'm not someone who's going to put stickers on this. But if it is something that interests you, why not go ahead and try that out? I think I have covered almost everything. Let's see. Would I recommend this? Yes. Okay. Let me clarify why. One, this is my first Kindle. I have been, an actual hard copy reader, or a physical book as such. Okay. And I was worried when shifting into a Kindle. And it was a little bit difficult because, let me tell you, the Kindle lags. Okay. When I say lags in comparison to your tabs or phones as such, because that is where I used to read earlier. And obviously, I just quickly tap and it's very quick, right? But on the Kindle, there's a certain lag. You must have already seen while I was clicking on the screens. Okay, so let me show you. Now, see, you have to type the password, right? Like on your phones, we would be quick. But can you see I clicked many times and there are, it's very slow. So you have to be a little slow when you click. So, for example, three, you have to be a little more slower. Okay, it takes a bit of time getting used to. For me, I would say I think within a week I was used to it, so it was not really that difficult. Okay, but yes, a little bit of time. Other than that, what I would say is that my reading has increased. Okay, considering the fact that I have a full-time job, and once I come back from work as well, there's a lot of housework to do. I'm actually reading more now compared to earlier, simply because I'm able to carry this to work. I don't have to buy all those books to read them, okay? And I can read them whenever I want if I get some free time. Since it is lightweight and portable, I can carry it wherever I want and read as needed. So I would say that this is definitely worth considering if you can get it around the 10 to 12 price range. Of course, if you are looking into other models, you will have to probably order it internationally. I don't see any other ways that you can think about that. But anyway, hope this video helped you. So see you in the next video, guys. Bye.